Serving their community is who they are because they love where they live. REMAX 3D Real Estate is proud to bring you Heart of Royse City, a video series dedicated to celebrating all the wonderfully great things about Royse City, Texas. On every episode, Dennisha Denney will share Royse City's story through the stories of the people who call Royse City home. This is Heart of Royse City.
Thank you so much for watching Heart of Royse City. I asked Erin Withrow to come on the show because of his passion for other people. With his military service, you're going to see how much he really cares about others and gives back to our community. Here's my conversation with Erin. Hey y'all, I'm Dennisha Denney, your host of Heart of Royse City. We're sitting down today in our new REMAX 3D real estate office located next to Starbucks. Our guest today is Erin Withrow. Erin, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me over.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come over.
Hey, not a problem. Your office looks wonderful.
Thank you so much. I can't wait till we have our furniture in here and we can officially be open.
Yeah, furniture does kind of make it nice, but I do like the bones. It's going to come together really, really nice.
Thank you so much. Cool. We'll watch for the grand opening because it's coming soon.
Okay.
Well, we're super happy to be a part of Royse City. We have our office in Greenville, and we felt like it was the right time to expand to Royse City, and I've really enjoyed getting to meet new people in Royse City and find out what they love about Royse City. So I'm super excited for us to talk about your story.
Okay.
So on Heart of Royse City, what we want to talk about is finding out the stories behind all the wonderful people here in this community. And your name keeps coming up. And I actually met you at the Chamber of Commerce, one of the luncheons.
We're big Chamber fans. So
yes. Yeah. So shout out to the Chamber.
Big shout out.
They do a great job with promoting this community.
They do. Small businesses and big businesses alike, they need somebody that advocates for them. And I think the Chamber does the best way or the best job of getting us all together, common purpose to promote each other, to push each other, finding that happy balance between city, personal business, and community. I don't think that a city can really survive without a good, hard-driving chamber.
Absolutely.
And we've got one.
We do, definitely. Okay, so tell us a little bit. How long have you been in Royse City? How did you get to Royse City?
So good story. I grew up in Rowlett, Texas, when Rowlett looked like Royse City. A lot of people don't believe that, but used to be able to drive through Rowlett and see cows and farmland. Loved it. That was my developmental portion of my years. And in fact, I was the first graduating class out of Rowlett. 1998. Wow. Go 90s.
That was the first graduating class out of Rowlett?
Yep. Went to Lakeview for 2 years and then went to Rowlett for when it first opened. So real proud of that inaugural class. Then decided to, start becoming an adult. Became a paramedic and a firefighter. 2001. Obviously, we had 9/11.
Right.
Right after that, after a couple years of experience, I really felt the urge and the call to go into the Army. So joined the Army.
What made you feel that call?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I've always had it. It's always been deep down. It's been something I've always wanted to do. And that's probably what gave me such a positive attitude towards it. I never regretted my time in the Army, even through all my deployments. My best friend, Chad. I have a best friend. His name is Chad. He lives out here by us. And we've been best friends for 35 years now.
Wow.
So we met when we were 6, and we are still rocking and rolling together. He joined the Army.
I was going to say, did he go to the Army with you? Okay.
And so it was kind of one of those things. I had the opportunity to go to college. It was 1998, 99, and there really wasn't a big push. We were scaling back from Bosnia, Kosovo. So I went to college, and then I went to go be a paramedic. But in 2003, when I enlisted, there was a big call. We were actively seeking Iraq and Afghanistan. And that's when I was like, okay, this is my calling. I need to go do it. So
did that stir in you when 9/11 happened in 2001?
Big time. Like I knew post 9/11 if we had a sustained, like if we were doing stuff, and that's really what kind of built up. It's 2002 and we're still in country. It's 2003, we're still in country. And I'm like, okay, it's time for me to step up. I've got skills. Country needs me. Let me bring it. So I was and I am still very, very patriotic. So joined the Army, met the love of my life when I got home. So I came back from basic training, fully trained up. And that's when I met my wife over at Baylor. So we grew up together in Baylor. Baylor
like
Garland.
the hospital? Okay.
Yeah, Baylor Garland. So, and then for the next, I'd say, 10 years, basically just kind of worked with the Army, worked with Baylor, just kind of kept flip-flopping back and forth. Went on my first tour to Iraq in '08. And so how did I get to Royse City? So at the time...
Hold on. We're not, no. We're not ready to go there yet.
Okay.
I have more questions about your service.
Okay.
So you went on 3 deployments?
Two.
Two different deployments.
2 different deployments.
Okay. How long were you gone during that time?
Total of 2 years.
For each one
For
of them?
1 year each one.
Okay.
So train up and get back, but in country about 10 months, 9 to 10 months.
Okay.
So my first tour, obviously very nervous, went to Iraq. And honestly, the way that we operate, the way that the military operates, for me, it was 911 because that's what I was doing. So I wound up flying on the back of the helicopter, doing what's called a medevac mission. And that is essentially sitting around watching TV until somebody calls 911.
Oh, wow.
And so some days you can not get a single call at all and you know, clean and just do stuff. And then some days you just fly all day long. It just depends on what's going on and what's happening in the country. So very, very satisfying mission though. It was definitely what I got into the Army to go do. Yeah. So
That's awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for your
appreciate it.
service.
And I appreciate your support.
I cannot imagine what it would be like without having you guys who go and protect our freedoms and take care of the men and women who are on that front line.
I was really motivated by those commercials, you know, where the guy's got a gun and he's skiing and shooting people while he's got a gun and he's skiing, and I've never gotten to do any of that.
I was going to say, how many times did you do that, Erin?
Never. I've done a lot of mopping.
I bet.
So much mopping. I've done mopping with guns also.
While
so
you
that's
had
kind
your
of
gun?
a unique thing. But no, it was a very satisfying experience.
Do you
I
have
loved
any
my time.
stories from your deployments that you would want to share? Like anything that made a difference in your life? Were there any aha moments or anything that maybe
I
that you
saw
still think
some
about?
of the best and most heroic things in the back of that helicopter, truthfully. Those are my stories. I'll keep them. That's a long one, but
Yeah.
long story short, I saw some real heroes. I saw some really heroic stuff that you can't ever forget.
Right.
A lot of good, a lot of bad,
Right.
but it was definitely impactful.
I know you and I were talking before we hit record, and we were talking about, you know, just the purpose that you have inside the military and just that camaraderie of relationships that you bond, that you build inside the military.
So I have a very unique location. So my unit is part Oklahoma Guard, Oklahoma Air Pirates, and part San Antonio, which is the Texas Guard.
Okay.
And so both of those units together provide both of their states air support. Oklahoma's real big because the Department of Emergency Management actually uses the Oklahoma Guard to fight fire. So the Chinooks and the Blackhawks will load up these buckets, go dip out of cow ponds and drop buckets on these, because you have so much wide open space in Oklahoma. It's very rural. You know, they got to get the Guard out there to fight the fire. And that was great. I love that mission. But with my boys being in pretty much close to Norman, Oklahoma or San Antonio, me living here in the DFW makes me the stopping point. So I am constantly hit up with like, hey, Withrow, we're coming through, staying at your place. I'm like, I don't have enough whiskey. I need more whiskeys.
Is your wife used to this? She's like,
yes, she's totally used to it.
Yeah.
I have carte blanche. That's the one thing. So yeah, I miss those relationships, those lifetime relationships. There might be guys I haven't talked to in a few years, and they will literally call me up and say, hey, I'm blowing through. Can I crash? Yes, absolutely. Please. I miss you. Come by. And so that kind of makes it fun. It's very unique to have me being halfway between San Antonio and Norman. So
that's awesome. I know you're on speed dial with those guys.
yeah. And you know, there's some that you're closer with than others. You know, I call my buddy Frank my Iraq wife because, I mean, you live and basically sleep in bunk beds about this close, and this is about as much space, personal space, as you will get for 9 months while you're overseas.
Wow.
And so Frank is 6'8". He's a big boy.
Ooh.
I'm 6'2". So me being the small guy in the room is kind of a new experience to me. So no matter where Frank goes or what he does, he'll always be, you know, Frank the Tank, my man. So anyways.
What happened to your friend Chad?
So Chad lives over in, what is that community that's just past Costco? right off of 205, go past.
Like the McClendon Chisholm area?
No, just past the Hacienda. But
Oh, in the subdivision over there.
yeah, the subdivision
Yes.
that's over there. So Chad lives over there. He's got his own business. He does lead gen and sales funnels and lots of SEO development. He's got a really, really good group going called Blue Fox.
Okay.
So yeah, we pretty much refuse to leave each other's area.
I was going to say, it sounds like you guys stayed close.
Yeah, he's kind of my safety blanket. Yeah. So him and his kids live over there. We're only about 10 minutes apart. So
that's awesome. What made you get out of the military and retire?
So I haven't retired yet, and I haven't quite thrown it all the way out. But
okay.
honestly, we were really getting busy, and we had orders for our next deployment when we got back from our last deployment. And I really wanted to finish my degree. So basically kind of got out to finish the degree and thought I could get back in as a commissioned officer. It's been about 3 years and realized I kind of like the civilian life. I have done good service. I have done honorable service. I have given 2 tours. I have given 4 years of active service away from my wife to this country.
A lot.
And I'm fine with that. But I'm also just fine not getting back in and finishing it out. So I don't know.
And that's totally acceptable. It's just like what you just said. I mean, you've given back so much of your life to our country.
No,
so
and I'm very happy.
Don't discount that at all.
But if I could go find some place to do another 6 years and pull that 20-year retirement, that'd be kind of neat. So it's one of the, but it was really just to focus on the degree and just kind of take a tempo break to go,
What is your degree?
Right now, biology.
What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to continue to roof. Because I'm
with
a roofer
your biology
now,
degree.
with my biology degree. So I'm a biology roofer.
Tell me how that works.
I was so close to getting it. Well, at the end of the day, I was a paramedic from 2000 up until working until 2018. And so almost 20 years there. And so that was just always the goal. So when I got out, I had all these healthcare degrees, sciences and nursing school. And that's when I kind of realized I didn't want to be in healthcare anymore. I wanted to do something different. And then, most adults have a career change sometime in their life. And that was mine. And so I was very fortunate to run into my man, Mike Ranigan. And he owns a mobile drug testing business. So that was a little bit of sales, and it was a little bit of my healthcare background. So that's what I was, a lot of DOT clients. And we had a big hailstorm in Allen 2 years ago, if you remember. And he sent me out there as a project manager just to help run supplies and do stuff. And I was like, I want to do this. I don't want to do the drug testing. I want to be a roof.
A roof.
It was really good because I got really good interactions with customers. I do like dealing with the customers, but also it's problem solving. I mean, it's so complex. And with my background in medicine, I was really easy to translate how I approached medicine with constant education, constant looking things up, and translate that to construction. Because it's not just fly by night. There's codes and standards and ways that things are being done, but it's on paper, it's on protocol, so it doesn't have to be imagined. So it was, for me, it was just like running in the back of an ambulance. And so I really like it. I find a lot of satisfaction. Plus, I get to wear jeans and boots every day.
Every day.
So that's very exciting.
I love that, actually. I can see that. And people don't think about that in roofing, that there are so many rules. There's codes within the cities and the permitting and the processing, but also the design.
I will share with you my favorite moment.
Okay.
My favorite moment, generally, is sometime around the June timeframe. It's going to get hot during the day, but it's still nice and cool in the morning. And I'm sitting on top of a 2-story house at the very tip top. In my left hand, I have a cup of coffee, and in my right hand, I have an Egg McMuffin. And my phone is down in my truck, plugged in. Nobody can bother me. And I just get to sit there. And it's about 7 in the morning. My crew's laying out their tools, but it's quiet. And I'm just drinking my coffee and eating a McMuffin. And I'm looking at the entire world in front of me because I'm sitting on top of the roof. It's the best moment ever.
I love that.
It's kind of fun. It's just very peaceful. And of course, I'll come down and then things get going and it's 100 miles an hour. But for that 15 minutes, I've got the world to myself and I can see everybody's house and everybody's starting to wake up and the world just starting to come alive. It's really neat.
That's really cool. Okay, I guess I'll let my husband know if you can't find me at 7 a.m., I may go try sitting out on the roof with an Egg McMuffin
the Roofer
and
Realtor
cup of coffee.
McMuffin spot. We're up here.
I love that so much. I love watching sunrises. I mean,
do too.
It's so peaceful, but I've never thought about doing it from the roof.
Let me ask you, are you wake up and go, or you wake up and leave me alone? I need to wind it up.
I'm a little bit of both.
Little bit of
I
both?
really a little bit of both. I love to wake up and go though. I like
My
to
beautiful
hit my
princess
day
starts off the day as a mountain troll. Okay, she turns into the beautiful queen of our house. But no, leave me alone. Give me coffee, and I love you.
hard. It's funny. I was like that when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I'm not as much that way.
No, she's got her process. You just leave her.
Yes.
For just that 15 minutes to 20 minutes to wake up. Not me. I am doing backflips out the bed. Like, karate time. What are we doing? And so, I don't know. Mornings are my best time. And then I slow down during the day. And by the time it's evening, I want to be, I just want to go home and hold her hand and just go to bed.
Then you become the mountain troll.
I never get grumpy. I try not to be grumpy, but I do. That is my quiet time. That is my turn the phone off, leave it in the office. You can't find me time.
I love that you do that. You've said that. Now you've said twice. You turn your phone off. Your phone's away from you in the morning. Your phone's
Yeah.
away from you at night. Are you very intentional about setting your phone down?
Super intentional. Okay, so this goes back to my Iraq and Afghanistan deployments. A lot of people nowadays, especially my generation and younger, so I'm 40, don't know what it's like to be unconnected, really unconnected.
Right.
And so Iraq and Afghanistan both. And Afghanistan was a bit of a cheat because I was stationed at a big base in Afghanistan in addition to some smaller ones. But when I was at the big base, I had internet, which means I could FaceTime with my wife and my family, and it was really cool. But to really unplug from the phone, you cannot be reached. That's a big deal. And so I learned to institute that in our house because I am plugged in. I can't help it. So if you call me, I will answer. I have to, like you said, be intentional. Plug it in, set it down in another room. I was finding I couldn't sleep. I was I wouldn't quite go to the stage of insomnia, but I was probably pretty borderline. Wake up in the middle of the night, check my alarm, check to see if there's anybody giving me an email or a message. So I'm very process driven on how I treat electronics in the house. Same thing, we don't hardly ever watch TV in the bedroom. The bedroom is for reading and sleeping and high-fiving. So
I love it. No, I think that's great that
Yeah.
you have, the TV goes where the TV needs to be, where you want to be to watch TV, but not in the bedrooms. My kiddos, they don't have TVs in their bedrooms either. It's just that needs to be your place where you can go and it be quiet and be able to step away from the world.
So you asked how I got to Royse City.
Yes.
My last deployment. So we were living in East Dallas, working at Big Baylor, and then I got deployed. And so we were looking for where our forever homes. We were going from that rent to our first home. And wound up just doing a whole lot of searching. Lori Lee in Rockwall helped us
Yes.
out. She's a Marine. And so I kind of wanted that veteran relationship, but
That's
you know,
cool. I didn't realize she was a Marine. That's really cool.
Oh, she is a Marine. Marines don't stop. They're always Marines. No, she's a great person. She found us a great place, but man, I must have given her the temptations of Job because I think she probably toured us for about 4 months
Oh, wow.
and always kept her patience. But it was either something I liked or Kim didn't, or Kim liked and I didn't. And then we found Scott Clements.
Oh, yeah.
Scott built us a great home, and I can say that because we actually went with Scott based off of a frame job. Didn't even get to see a house. Just saw his frame out and went, I want this.
He does build an incredible home.
He built
They
us
are
a great
beautiful.
home. And I found out he was going to move in across the street. So we contracted to build a house. They built the slab. Then I left.
Oh, no.
Then I came back for 2 days, for a weekend before I left, overseas left. I was gone for 3 months, came back, the house was built. Still had to do some finishing work, but I was able to move everything into the garage, and then it was gone for a year. So then when I got home, the rest of the community was built. Scott lived across the street from me, and I've got a gorgeous house. But it was exactly what we were looking for in a Royse City environment.
Mm-hmm.
We're out on 1565 behind the water tower.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a couple of acres, nice elbow room.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet. My neighbors are awesome. So we're Royse City, but Hunt County.
Right.
You know, that
It's
life
beautiful
slice.
out there.
I
Yes.
love it. And with all the growth, I'm really excited to see how Royse City is kind of expanding, how its P&Z is kind of shaping our town. But my little area out there, will always be nice and quiet, just the way it's
Right.
constructed.
It's got the built-in elbow
I'm a big
space.
fan of McLennan Chisholm. I'm
Yes.
a big fan of the way Royse City's growing, and I see a lot of comparability there. So
Right. Well,
that is how I wound up in Royse City.
That's awesome. Well, that's a perfect transition. Let's talk about what you love about Royse City.
First of all, I love the people. Love, love, love the people. I came back here. Let's face it, if I had to, I would love to live in the Bahamas. Beaches, sun, drinks. But we live where we live because we get along with the people that we get along with. And there's nothing better than the great state of Texas. And by that, I mean here, Royse City. Our people share our values, but we don't have to have 100% match. You know, we have a nice diversity, but also a lot of similarities. It's the people, easily the people. Otherwise, I probably would have found another forever home. But I'm in my forever home. We're here. But I also like the country life. That's a big deal. I like being able to know all my back roads. In fact, for 3 years when we were giving people the GPS, lost a lot of friends coming out here. Real
Really?
talk. Living in a tight metropolitan city, because we were in Little Forest Hills
Okay.
area, and so all your friends are within 5 to 10 minutes. When
Right.
I've got to invite my friends for a barbecue at my house, and it's an hour away, you know, doorstep to doorstep, it's just those friendships become further and further apart. People almost felt like I moved out of state, and I'm just on the other
Really?
side. But those things tended to kind of drift away, and new ones came in. So we really do embrace that country life. We still have 0 delivery services, which is great.
Was that an adjustment for you?
It was an adjustment for her.
I bet.
Living austere environments with the Army, not so big a deal. But also, I'm an amateur chef. I love to cook. One thing I watch on Facebook more than anything else, like if I get caught on Facebook in the morning, it's because Gordon Ramsay put out a new little 3-minute video or something like that. I'm like, oh, we're making beef Wellington today. So that for me is pretty cool. Having a big freezer, having a big fridge, and then another fridge on the inside so that you go to Costco and, you know, the grocery store and you get everything you need and take it into the house, and then I'm eating. And so that keeps us from fast fooding it all the time. And I do like that. I love that aspect.
Once you learn how to do it.
Once you learn how to do it, and how to do a lot of slow cooked meals. That's a big deal for us. How to get a pot roast going.
Right.
Everybody loves pot roast.
So what have
Like,
you guys done to plug into the community here to get to know people?
Well, we talked earlier about the chamber. So
Right.
the chamber's a big deal. What else? We don't have kids. So that's been a big one that it's so easy for people to kind of pipeline into from your elementary to middle to the Royse City High School. But we still support our RC Bulldogs. In fact, our company, Doc's Roofing, sponsored the bonfire this year.
Oh, fun.
Did you see my video of my massive flaming arrow into the bonfire?
No, I'll have to go look that up.
Very lackluster, so I've got to work on it next year. It was a lot of hype. I got the flaming arrow off, and then it just and it gently caught fire. I was expecting more of a whoosh sort of effect, but we'll get it fixed.
I was going to say, there's always next year.
There's always next year. But obviously the chamber is a big deal. Chamber helps me plug into other businesses and that's why I like this chamber. The businesses are families.
Yes.
You know, when I'm talking to somebody from around the area, they're, you know, like Next Level Nutrition. That is a family.
Yes.
That provides a service.
Yes.
So that is kind of how I tap into the RC. And then obviously I say I love you with food. So I know every restaurant in town.
Who's your favorite?
I'm not playing that game.
Oh, you're not going to give a favorite. We'd
No.
have to go by categories then.
Oh, nope. Can't
Nope,
even do
you
that.
can't even do that?
I'm not going to get people jelly.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
easily the best Royse City barbecue
Okay.
smoke sessions.
I was going to
That's
say,
an easy one.
that's easy.
But I'm not going to get onto the political stance of which Mexican restaurant is best. There are 3, and they are all fantastic.
They really
What else?
are. I mean,
yes.
everywhere I've eaten here has
And I
been
will say
so
this,
good.
this is nothing against anybody else. Arbolitas was probably 3 times a week when I was a paramedic here. So I didn't mention that. I worked for Rockwall County in the EMS for a few years. And so when you would be stationed out here in Royse City, Arbolitas was a go-to. But when we did live in Dallas, I lived right next to Matt's. Ranchero, the original. And so having a Matt's that just opens just down the street from me, oh yeah. But no, I could do this for hours. Sweetwater. I love getting to go to Sweetwater because it's really close, but the food is great.
Yes.
But if I'm going to throw out one more shout out for food, Butcherman's.
Okay.
Butcherman's Meat Market.
Oh, I have heard about the beef
You've
market.
got to go. You got to go. It's totally worth it. They've got fresh meats. Yeah, I'm not here to sell Butcherman's, but that is my go-to.
Awesome. Well, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Before we hit record, I asked you for a number between 1 and 20.
19.
You gave me 19. Here's your random question.
Okay.
How do you want to be remembered? I told you it was a good one.
That's a good one.
It's a really good one.
I don't know. I want to be a role model. I want to be somebody that says, you know what? That guy lived a quality life, a full life that I would want to emulate. And it's not so fantastic. He's not a Richard Branson. He's not trying to get to Mars first. He just did the best he could, and he enjoyed it. And I do. I love my life. I love everybody that's in it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. See, I told you it was a good
That
one.
was a stingy question, too. I was like, ooh,
it's
little
good.
dark.
No, I want to say one more time, thank you so much for your service.
And thank you for your
thank
support.
you for your heart for your other fellow military men and women.
We do. Or I should say thank you, because I talked with you guys about this earlier, and I just have to put it out there. Rockwall County and its greater areas, we are the largest veterans community in the state of Texas. And that to me is a big deal. But a lot of people don't know that. So I'll ask you and I'll ask you, if you see somebody and you want to say thank you for their service, by all means do it. But also let them know that they are sitting in the heart of a large veterans community. And I think that a lot of things that veterans face from day to day is knowing that they've got brothers and sisters next door. It's a 1 in 10 ratio. There's over 70,000 people that live here, but we've got 6,500 vets that are living here in this greater area. So, anyways.
That's incredible. And that's great that they know they're not alone.
Exactly.
That's what they need to know.
I felt super isolated for the first few years I was living here. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
Living out in the country, my units are 3 hours away in either direction. I really did feel super isolated.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting involved with the American Legion, with the Rockwall Veteran Business Alliance. There's so many organizations, and there's so many other vets that get you and love you. They're here.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Well, thank you. I'm so
helps
glad you
everybody.
shared that. That's important.
No, I'm glad that you let me share it. So
Absolutely.
It's a huge passion for me.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I had a great time, and I love
Enjoyed
your
it.
office.
Thank you so much.
Let's get that furniture in here.
Yes, sir. We'll have that grand opening soon.
Is it coming down Amazon?
On Amazon?
Buy now?
Buy now.
Just buy
Yes,
now?
Buy now. Buy now.
Okay. Amazon Prime seems to has it on. It'll be here tomorrow.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Erin.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Heart of Royse City. This video series, which is designed to celebrate Royse City, Texas, is spearheaded by REMAX 3D Real Estate.